Hi, I'm Sarah Kenrick and I'm working with Canolfynnu in Corwen on their Family Food and Fun project, funded by Comic Relief. Hi, so this week we are going to be doing something a little bit fruity. Okay, so we're going to be putting together some nice fruit kebabs with a little bit of sweetness. So this is going to be fun for all the kids to help prepare all the fruits and get everything onto the skewers. So a little bit of a fun dessert more than cooking. Okay, so all the fruit that you're going to have in your pack tomorrow. So we've got a nice cantaloupe melon, watermelon, strawberries, grapes, blueberries, all high in vitamin C, which is great for the immune system at the moment, and high in fibre. So fruit is really important in the diet. We've also got some satsumas, some pears and some kiwi fruit, and I'm going to chop a nice fresh pineapple. Most of the time you get them in the tins, but this is nice and fresh all the way from Costa Rica. Okay, so just adds a little bit of sweetness to it. We're going to be putting on our fruit kebab. It's going to have a few marshmallows, and we're going to coat maybe some of the strawberries with a little bit of chocolate. Okay, so giving it a little bit of sweetness. And then just to stay on the healthy side, we're going to serve it with some nice Greek yogurt, which is high in protein and low in fat. So a nice balanced dessert to end the summer holidays. Okay, so first of all we're going to prepare all our fruit. So first of all I'm going to get through the melons. Okay, so I'm going to cut the melon in half. Now all this fruit has been washed beforehand. Okay, really important that we get rid of any soil off the watermelon or any germs from the supermarkets. So what we're going to do is just get rid of all the seeds, because we don't want to eat any of the seeds for this. Okay, I'm just going to prepare half of this melon. So we don't want to eat the skin, so I'm going to cut them down into chunks which are going to be small enough to put on our skewers. So into the skin on the side, and maybe the adult might want to do this because it needs a sharp knife just to cut away the outer skin. Okay. Making sure that we don't lose too much of the melon. Okay, so we'll just leave that there. Then we've got our watermelon. So again, now watermelons are a little bit tougher to get through, so you do really need a strong knife, sharp knife. Woo. And I'm just going to cut another little wedge. And depending on how many skewers you want to prepare, the same again with this. Sharp knife required. the juice. And then we're going to prepare the kiwi fruit. Now these are really quite firm kiwi fruits, so there's a couple of different ways, but because they're quite firm, I'm going to cut the top and the tail off, and I'm going to use a peeler. Now if they were a little bit softer, you could use the rim of the glass just to run the inside of the skin down the side of the glass, and that would scoop it out. Okay, so I'm just going to prepare the one on this occasion. Satsumas, now these are easy peelers, so we're just going to little hole, and I'm just going to peel the skin off, and we're just going to use the segments of the orange. Okay, and again just try and get rid of the pith that's round the segments. Sometimes that can be a little bit bitter. Okay, so we'll leave those there. And then we've got our pears. So again, they're quite firm pears, so we are going to peel these as well. Now the majority of these fruits are soft fruit, so the issue with using things like bananas and apples on kebabs like this, they don't retain their colour. So if you are using, you can use any kind of fruit, but if you're not going to be eating them straight away, then the problem you'll have is that they'll discolour and they won't look quite as nice. So to get the core out of the pear, take a sharp knife and just run it down the base. You can cut it in half, and you can see the core there. Just take it out. We don't need the stalk either. Okay. There we go. Get rid of that. Okay, so now we've got all our pieces, so we're ready to assemble. So in the pan here, I've got some chocolate drops melting. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to coat some of the strawberries before we start assembling in chocolate. So make sure you wash the strawberries, and the ones that have got the stalks on, which are quite nice, once it's melted, and what I've done is I've added just a drizzle of oil into it, literally a drizzle, and what that does, it stops it from over melting. It retains the glaze. Okay, so you dip the strawberries into the chocolate, and then lay them onto some parchment paper so that while we're preparing the pineapple, the chocolate can harden so that they're ready to put on the kebabs. Okay, we'll just do a couple more. Okay. Right, so we've got that, and those in there. And then we're going to prepare the pineapple. Okay, so we're going to chop the lovely head off it. That we don't need. And the bottom. Again, it's imperative that you use a really sharp knife for this. And what we're going to do is we're going to go round. Making sure you don't cut too deeply in. But as you can see, we've got some brown pieces that we need to just get rid of. So here, with the brown pieces, if you just on the horizontal, not too deep, okay, just cut out. Okay. Just a few more to do. Okay. Now the core in the middle we don't need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut straight down. Straight down. Straight down. Okay. And that piece there is too hard to eat. And okay, use that piece. Okay, so we are ready to assemble. So I've got some large skewers. Now you can use shorter ones, but be very careful with the little ones with the skewers, really sharp. So you can get lollipop sticks. They can be used if you're not 100% sure, or you can chop the ends off so it's not too sharp. Okay. So with the watermelon, if you want to have a little bit more fun with the shapes and everything, we can use little cutters to cut out shapes. And if you've got some fun shape cutters at home, then that adds to the fun. So we can do little rounds, or we can have just regular triangles. Okay. And it's always nice to have just little different colours for the actual kebabs. So you want to keep them still quite chunky so that they don't fall apart on the kebab. So I'm going to start with a large piece of pineapple, and then I'm going to put a marshmallow and a blueberry and a piece of melon, a large piece, and it's up to you entirely how you put these on, in which order. Bit of there, and there's some things that maybe, you know, fruit you don't like or not quite sure about, but it's an opportunity for the youngsters to be able to try lots of different fruits that they haven't already tried. Okay, and there's one last thing, the kiwi fruit I haven't got. Okay, so you can put those onto a tray and into the fridge. You can serve it with some nice Greek yogurt, or you can also take the chocolate and drizzle it over the marshmallows. Okay. And then just carry on with all the different fruit. So it's entirely up to you how you do that, but I'm sure you'll enjoy them when they're all done. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching this week's video. I hope you had some fun, and don't forget to share your photos on the Facebook group. We'll see you next week at ar-lein.